Good morning, all my fellow YouTube modelers. Today I'm doing a morning update on the Kenworth. You can see I've got a little bit more done on it. Interior still in the process, but what I had to do the last couple of days is I started doing some test fitting, and I realized that even though I followed the instructions, the cap mounts on the front, these are the two front cab mounts. The instructions were not correct, or they weren't clear, I suppose, and I mounted them where the instructions showed, which ended up being about, you can see where the old one was. It was about 1/8 of an inch further back, and it ended up sitting up about 1/8 of an inch too high. So in the process of trying to realign them, that was the New York governor. Apparently my internet is back. In the process of trying to get them off to realign them, they ended up breaking, which I figured they would anyways, so I ended up having to make new mounts. So those are curing, and then this afternoon I'll probably paint them, touch them up to match. I guess technically speaking, you could say that it's no longer a box stock kit because I had to make new mounts, but because of the situation, I'm gonna hope that they wouldn't count that against me, because I had to make new mounts to replace the kit mounts because I put them in the wrong spot, even though the instructions showed where they go, but it wasn't clear. I suppose I could show you in the instructions. Here you can see do this without wasting a whole lot of time. Here you can see in the instructions right here is what I'm talking about. Here's the mount, this part right here, and it shows it goes straight down directly on top of the loop that goes underneath the transmission. But in fact, it's actually supposed to go not here, but over here and down flush against that. There's actually a section of that cross member piece that's not there, and that's where the mount is supposed to go. If you look further on in the instructions, you can actually see in this picture later on where it's actually showing where the cab mounts on the frame. You can actually see that that mount is, although it's much more rudimentary picture, you can see it's actually down on that frame. But anyway, after I started testing and realized I put it in the wrong spot, I did my best to get them off of there cleanly, and I made new ones, trimmed them, test fitted them, and now the cab fits nice. I know I test fitted this when I first started putting the chassis together, but I guess I just wasn't paying that close attention. But you can see it fits nice and flush now. Cab sits level, and we're ready to go. So I just got to touch those up, and then I can continue on with mounting the cab. The other thing that I did was I tried my best to keep the chrome stacks, because normally I would use aluminum tubing for the exhaust stack and that kind of thing, but because this is a box stock build, I used the kit parts. Now these were all chrome, obviously, but because of the amount of flash and the amount of cleaning up that needed to be done, basically by the time I was done cleaning it up, there was no chrome on it anymore. So I cleaned them up real good, got rid of all the flash, sanded them down, polished them up as best I could, sprayed them with some silver, and then topped that off with some of this. It's not the chrome that most people are used to. It's actually this Spaztics Ultimate Mirror Chrome. I've used it before in my RC hobby, and it works pretty good, but it probably would have worked better if I had used a black base, but I wasn't really thinking about it at the time. I was just going to spray it with some silver and polish it out, and I decided I'd hit it with that chrome. And it looks pretty good. It might need a little bit more polishing, but it looks good enough. It looks more like aluminum than it does chrome. But anyway, got a few more little pieces done and detailed, and got some dry brushing done. Still got to finish the other air cleaner, but I got some of the detail painting done on that. Got some of the rubber parts painted, and this is the original cab mount. So I think today, after I get those cab mounts painted up, touched up, and blended in, I'm going to start by mounting the hood on permanently, and then start putting the windows in the cab so that I can start putting the interior in. Because I just got to do a couple more detail painting projects on interior parts, and then the interior can actually start going together. So anyway, that's my update. A little longer than I wanted to go, but I hope you guys stuck around for it, and we'll see you on the next one. See ya. God bless everybody. Stay safe, and enjoy your modeling.